3 NHL free plays and breakdowns coming your way right now. This is Puck Time, and no, I am not Andrew McInnis, quite obviously. I have a little bit better hair, and we started the show on time, so you know it can't be our man Andrew McInnis. Dan Alexander filling in for him because my man Carmine Bianco, he messaged me yesterday on Christmas of all days, and he says, Dan, we need to get a Puck Time for the people. He's like, I know there are no matchups going on, but hear me out. Let's talk some Saturday games. Let's get ready to go with a pick of the day, which has been absolutely rolling. And Carmine is a Buffalo Bills fan. I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan. So he said, let's also go toe-to-toe on that one. So maybe the hockey show here, Carm, will turn into a football show at some point. But welcome in, buddy. Merry Christmas to you. And great to see you, man. How's the holiday?
Holidays were great. You're getting much better weather out there on the West Coast, dude, because I'm looking out the window here and snow is coming down. It is coming down here.
Yeah, but it might as well be snowing because it's raining in Los Angeles. And when it's raining in Los Angeles, Carm, seriously, the dog therapists out here need to work overtime because whenever it is raining here in Los Angeles, everybody starts losing their mind.
Well, you can't go on the beach and walk the dog. I always have those great freaking Instagram things. But, man, after 3 NFL games yesterday, and I'm happy. My clients went 2-1. We lost the last one, but Cowboys first half was a winner. Then the Minnesota Vikings, who I thought had a chance to win that game outright going into the game, but I took the 7.5. They win. And then, as you pointed out to me just before I went to air, I think I did err on taking the Broncos and laying that big number against like a third. Their defense showed up. Their defense did show up.
Their defense always shows up. And actually, Bo Nix didn't have that terrible of a game, but man, that's a team that just keeps getting by the skin of their teeth, Carm. But of course, we got people dropping in here. I'm missing hockey. You are here for the hockey show, so we'll subside our. Even though it feels like a Monday, it's a Friday, Carm. So we'll set aside our Friday morning quarterback. And you too, Kriakos. Kyriakos. I'm sorry, buddy, but happy Christmas to you as well. All right, Carm.
Kyriakos.
Thank you. I can always rely on my man, Carm. All right, buddy, let's get into it. We're going to talk Minnesota Wild, Winnipeg Jets. We're going to do Colorado Avalanche, Vegas Golden Knights. Carm has a pick of the day for you, which is well up over where we started with the $5,000 bankroll. And he's already made some donations to different charities here. We're going to do the 6 in 60 as well. That's 6 plays for Saturday action. And then we got a little something special for you guys, a little Neuby versus Bianco. What does that mean? You'll find out. But Carm, let's talk this Wild and Winnipeg Jets game. It's looking like we got the Minnesota Wild around, minus 110, shop around minus 112 is what we'll call it. Winnipeg Jets, there is even money out there, but it's as high as around minus 108 as they're facing off tonight. Carm, how are you looking to bet this one? These are two teams who on the season, around 500 against the spread here. So, that's obviously on the puck line. How are we looking to bet this game? Over, under? What are you thinking, Carm?
Yeah, this is one of those ones where, we got like 13 games on Saturday. So I wanted to pick a couple games of interest, of course, and then a pod play. But you look at this, one of the, Winnipeg's struggling right now. Minnesota isn't. That's the easiest part of this breakdown. One of the toughest things to do when you want to snap out of a losing streak, which is what Winnipeg are trying to do right now, is to score goals. And they're not scoring the goals right now. They have 7 goals across their last 4 games, all losses. And then you look at it, what's even worse? Facing a team like the Minnesota Wild, who are playing some exceptional hockey right now, but have a goaltending tandem like no other tandem, I think, in the NHL right now. You look at Gustafsson. Everyone loves Wallstead. You look at Gustafsson. In the last month, this guy is 8-1-2 with a 179 goals against average, a 934 save percentage. Extremely hot right now, and he could be the starter because they're going to be rotating their goalies as long as they stay hot. You look at Wallstead. Wallstead on the season is 10-2-2 with a 210 goals against average and 934 save percentage. It doesn't matter who they put in goal because the team in front of them is playing so well. And what do? They go ahead and they add Quinn Hughes as well too from Vancouver. This team is playing extremely well. Winnipeg opened up as a favorite overnight, and I really couldn't understand why. I figured some of the Minnesota money would be coming in, and I get it. Winnipeg at home, the return of Hellebuck, but the return of Hellebuck hasn't done anything for this team. They've lost 4 straight games. They just aren't scoring goals. Your goaltender can only do so much. The team in front of you has to score, and that's the difference. Minnesota has good goaltending, much like Winnipeg does, but they're scoring goals. They're playing as a team. This is a buy low price on Minnesota, and I think it's the right price here. So lay the 112 here with Minnesota. I think that's the right play.
Eating a little chalk, not too much chalk, but take the favorite. Carmine thinking in our first game of discussion here. That's the Minnesota Wild taking on the Winnipeg Jets. Don asking about travel for these teams, Carm. Do you know much about the travel schedule? Is your team traveling on the same day? Does it really change around the holidays?
It doesn't. I mean, like I would think that today is likely the travel day for them. But this isn't a long flight. Obviously, Winnipeg is at home, so they're home from Minnesota to Winnipeg. I think it's like an hour flight at most, something like that. We can Google it. I'm just too lazy. It is a short flight, nonetheless. So I'm not really worried about that coming into this at all as far as travel days. But we will talk about the whole rest versus rust thing with the next game.
All right, yeah, let's get into this next game, Carm, because basically, I mean, folks know I'm filling in here for Andrew, but everything that I know about betting hockey, I pretty much know from Slack messages to Carmine asking, hey, what am I betting on in hockey tonight? One thing I do know is it's just the Colorado Avalanche show here this season in the NHL. They're sitting atop the standings, 27 wins that they have already, even if you just look at what they've been doing in recent memory on an 8-1-1 run. However, they're playing a Vegas team who maybe a little bit stumble out of the gate, but since that point, 6-2-2 run they're on. They're sitting at 17-8-10. So this figures to be, Carm, a pretty premier matchup for Saturday, and one a lot of folks are going to be interested in. We're obviously seeing Colorado as the favorite around 145. You can shop around on that price. Take back on Vegas, around plus 120 that you can get. And we're basically looking at a 6 painted as far as the total. How are you looking to bet this game, Carm? Because for me, yeah, sure, you got Colorado as a big favorite here, and rightfully so with what they've done. But Vegas hasn't been any slouch as of late either. And, a little bit of rest, that always throws in a little interesting wrinkle in the handicap coming off of nobody in action for a few days.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because, these teams went into the holiday break, the Christmas break, and the Avs were and still are the best team in the NHL, 61 points, hot on their heels is the Dallas Stars at 56. And while they're not playing like we would expect them to play right now, the Vegas Golden Knights still have a stacked team. They could make some moves prior to the trade deadline to improve this team, to aid them in if they have to meet this Colorado or Dallas team in beating one of those two teams, because those teams are juggernauts right now. You look at this game, and I love when Colorado and Vegas play. Colorado went there earlier this year and beat Vegas 3-1. But this is one of those ones where if you're going to beat Colorado, you've got to do it on the road. Because Colorado doesn't lose games at home. Colorado's played 17 home games. 15 of them they've won in regulation. 2 they've lost in OT. That team at home is almost unbeatable. But on the road, 12-7. They can be had on the road. The problem here is the Vegas Golden Knights at the Fortress. The Fortress hasn't been the Fortress as of yet. Vegas is only 8-9 at home. Teams used to fear going into Vegas and playing against them. Obviously, the show before the game and then the way the team plays. Vegas will get back to that point at some point where teams are not going to want to go to Vegas to play this Golden Knights team, but they're not there yet. And for me, it's who's the better team right now. The better team is Colorado. I think we're at the height of what you want to lay in this game, because I'm seeing like 140 anywhere from 140 to minus 145 on the Avs. And I get it's the right number, but at some point, if you make Vegas a plus 125, plus 130, a lot of Vegas money, I think, is going to come in on the dog, mainly because of that stat that while a winning record, they're still 12-7, Colorado on the road. Now, with it being obviously the break, people talk about going into a break and your team is running hot. How does this affect you? Well, Ralph Michaels dropped this into our production group, and I thank him for it. Stat Daddy, look at the number on the Avalanche on 2 or more days rest. They are 10-1 this season on rest. If you're betting them when they've had 2 or more days off, you are 10-1. You are making money. As you can see there, the average line for them is also about minus 240 on them, because they are right now head and shoulders above most, if not all, the teams in the NHL, with the exception of probably the Dallas Stars, who are a very close second. So for me, it is Colorado, but I wouldn't blame anyone if they wanted to take an elevated plus money price on Vegas when it gets there. This is Friday. By the time these games, by the time we hit Saturday, I think the prices on this game might be just a shade higher on Vegas in that plus 130 range. I might be tempted to dabble in that. You guys know, over the last month or so, I love these plus money ones, and they seem to be hitting.
Yeah, Carm, and I know people might need to squint and use, a magnifying glass a little bit here, but you mentioned Avalanche sitting at the top of the chart. Obviously, their opponent in the Golden Knights, they're sitting towards the bottom of that chart, 4-5. They're coming off 2 days of rest. So a team who's really good in this spot, a team who really has been right around 500 in this spot. And another one that's a second part of that chart, if you look in the blue there, you're seeing in here, I'll pop it full screen for you guys so you can see it a little bit better. But if you look at it in the blue, these are the over-under records, and both of these teams off of rest. We had a comment in here asking about the first period, both teams to score. If you look here, Golden Knights and Avalanche are right on top of each other, 3-5-1 and 4-7 respectively, are the Knights and the Avalanche as far as the over-under is concerned. So if you're thinking, coming out of the gate, a lot of fireworks between these two teams because of what a great matchup it is. According to that data that Ralph Michaels has sent us on this season, and sure, it's a small data set, these are two teams who have at least struggled making the scoreboard start lighting up off of 2 days rest. So interesting stuff. I love when Ralph sends us that stuff. Just interesting. And again, trends, they may be prescriptive or not. The more data that we get behind them, the more that we can maybe dive in as those being true trends. But as the data has shown, at least so far in the season, both of these teams coming off of rest, while one is really good at winning the game, maybe not as many goals scored with regularity as you've come to expect from either of these teams.
Yeah, and when we talk about like even first periods, I think the better option on Saturday is to stay away from first period betting, because we don't know how the opening 20 minutes of any of these games are going to go on this extended rest. But the Colorado Avalanche, the difference between the Avs this year and the Avs last year is the Avs last year were one of the worst teams in the opening 20 minutes of a game. They got going in the second and third periods. So it is one where I wouldn't want to take them in the first period and both teams to score, because you could get one of those 1-0 games at the end of the first period, and then the game really picks up in the second and third periods as these teams get their legs after that 3 or 4 day break. Dan?
Yep, I completely agree. One question for you, Carm, before we hit up the pod, the pick of the day. And folks, we got the 6 in 60, the highly touted, world famous 6 in 60 segment coming up with my man Carmine Bianco. Eichel, Theodore, any updates on them, Carm? I know that Andrew is really the guy who dives in on the injury stuff, but you have anything coming across your desk? And anything on Eichel or Theodore?
On Eichel, no, but I think Theodore is listed as the last I saw earlier this morning is that Theodore wouldn't be playing, but I'm just clicking on injury reports as we speak. And for Theodore, it shows upper body injury, will not play. Jack Eichel is questionable for tonight with a lower body injury. So we'll see whether those 3 days off helped cure these guys or not. But I would say Eichel's likely takes the morning skate on Saturday morning, see how he feels, and is a game time decision. Theodore likely doesn't play.
Yeah, it shows you where my mind is at, Carm. I just hear the name Theodore, and I can't unhear that stupid Chipmunks Christmas song as Theodore, one of the Chipmunks, and the guy yells, "I'm Theodore" at the end. Yeah, now it's just ingrained in my brain. I need to move past that. Now we're in that nebulous time, Carm, in between Christmas and New Year's, where it is just everyone is full of cheese. Nobody knows what time it is. Nobody knows what day it is. But we do know that Carmine Bianco has a pick of the day. Carm, what are we eyeing in this one? This has been an auto tail, folks. And now I probably have jinxed you on this one. But what are we betting? Because I think we're getting a little plus money on this on this POD. Yeah, you know me.
Yes, we are getting some plus money. And hopefully if this hits, we are at 7K. For any of you that saw, I did post some pictures on Twitter. I did the food bag thing, a bunch of food, a cash donation as well too. They were so appreciative. As I mentioned, I got to the food bank. It opens at 9 for people that are, and the lineup, I got there at 8:30 to drop off the donations. And there was a lineup pretty much around the building for people. It's sad to see in this country here in Canada, and of course, south of the border, in the U.S. that the economies, we're not going to get into it, but that life is hard, that people need to line up in order to feed their families. So we did our little part. As far as the pod play, guys, I'm taking Tampa Bay against Florida. A lot of these matchups on Saturday are with very minimal travel. If you look at the games that are being played, and this one is absolutely minimal travel, Tampa Bay and Florida. The home team has lost both games. Tampa Bay went into Florida, beat them 3-1, and then hosted Florida just before the break, and in the final week before the break, and lost that game 5-2. When these teams get together, they hate each other. We see penalties, and if we see power plays, I'd rather go with the Tampa power play. I think this is one of those ones where I watched Tampa Bay. They snapped a 3-game skid with 2 very dominating wins over Carolina and the St. Louis Blues, both at home. They stay in the Sunshine State. They go to Florida, and I think they get the win over this Panthers team. I'm taking the plus 105 here.
Bang. Plus money. I'm down for it, Carm. The Tampa Bay Lightning at some plus chicken for Carm's POD. All right, Carm, breathe. Get your mind right, because it is time for the 6 in 60 segment. If you never joined us before, folks, we really appreciate you tuning in. This is PuckTime. Typically, it's Andrew McInnis, one of our hockey experts. He is off celebrating. He deserves some time off as well. But Carm said, hey, I want to get a show that people need 6 in 60. And I said, Carm, for you, anything, buddy. So if you've never tuned in before, guys, hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. You get great shows like this. But what Carm does, he breaks down 6 games as quickly as he can. We usually call it the 6 in 77 seconds, I guess we could call it. But I throw on the stopwatch here. We see if Carm can get it under 60, but it's 6 best bets. It's Saturday action. Carm, my friend, the floor is yours.
All right. This is your 6 in 60, hopefully in 60 seconds. Start the clock. Okay, Buffalo and Boston. We're taking the Sabres money line. Sabres, 7 straight wins. Yes, you heard that correctly. 7 straight wins. Bruins, 4 straight losses. Give me the Sabres money line. New Jersey and Washington. Jersey, 0-2 since Jack Hughes returned to the lineup, but things are going to change. They have an easier schedule ahead. The Caps, 4 straight losses on the road. Give me the Devils money line. Minnesota and Winnipeg. We talked about this earlier. The return of Hellebuck hasn't really translated into wins for this team yet. The Wild, 1 regulation loss in their last 9 games, 7-1-1. Give me mini money line. Toronto, Ottawa, under 6.5. The Sens are winning and playing better D. The under at this number has gone 9-3 the last 12 games between these two. Kings and Anaheim, under 6 in this one. Kings last 12 games, 10 unders, 2 pushes when the number is 6. Colorado and Vegas, Avs money line. If you're going to beat the Avs, you got to do it on the road, but I just don't think that's going to happen here. 2+ days of rest. They are 10-1. That is your 6 in 60.
That is your 6 in 65. by Carmine Bianco. That's pretty good. That's pretty
close.
good. Carmine, you had 2 days off, and you still came back informed to just miss it by 5 seconds. We'll take it. You deserve that victory sip of the water. And let's go, Carmine.
I did it in 77 seconds last week. So
comment your poor wife, Carm. Your poor wife. This segment, of course, brought to you by Blue Chew. Blue Chew everywhere with Carm 6 in 60. Guys, comment below after the video goes live. Let us know. What do you think? Carmine getting 6-0, 5-1, reverse 0-6. If he goes 0-6, you can blame me. He never goes 0-6 when I'm not.
It's not going to happen. But I will say this, Dan. I will say this because this leads into the next one. Not only do I want you guys to comment in the comment section after this video is posted, so I can come back and read them later, or what you think I'm going to go. And if you think I'm going to go 1-5, post it. You won't offend me.
Comment before. Unless the picks suck before they happen. I can't stand when afterwards people are like, nice pick, asshole. I'm like, yeah, tell me that before the game.
But I also want you to comment on who is going to win this next game. Dan, take it away.
Wow. Well, Carmine, probably the biggest fan of AI slop that I know. His ChatGPT actually did a pretty good job on this one, despite the fact that I look like a mix between Luke from Gilmore Girls and a country singer. Carm looks like the Temu version of Tyson Fury, but it's Neuby versus Bianco. That's right. The main event, my Philadelphia Eagles taking on his Buffalo Bills. And Carm, this thing opened Buffalo around 2-point favorites. They're down in some spots to pick them. The Circa contest line is sitting at a pick them, but we'll grade it at 1.5. So we got the Bills as 1.5-point favorites. What do you think in this one, buddy? This initially was a game that Carm and I were going to go to together. And then I said, no, you know what? A little too cold for me, Carm. I'm going to be back on the East Coast for good. I'm going to enjoy the sunshine while we can. Aubrey and the alien saying that the Bills are going to smack the Eagles. Let's go, Buffalo. What say you, Temu Tyson Fury?
So I think it's interesting because I didn't even ask for it, but have you noticed that ChatGPT also gave you the belt as the champion?
Well, they knew the champ is here. You know what I mean?
Well, the Eagles are the defending champions. So they don't mess around at all. I would love to take the easy way out and say, even with the bad weather that could hit Buffalo, because it's hitting Toronto right now, and you never know about those lake, swells?
Yeah, the snow effect, the lake effect, snow. I have family who lives up in the area. I know all of that well. However, I will say, Carm, both of these teams are cold weather teams who have played in snow, who have played in wind. So it's not like, the snow, while it would be great to see because we all love snow football, it's not like it really affects either of these teams either way, because it's something that they practice in, it's something that they see, it's something that they're familiar with. It's not like the Miami Dolphins are coming in here in a snow game that's going to be 20 degrees.
Exactly. So much like when San Fran came to Buffalo last season, and it was a snow fest, and the Bills absolutely ran over them. Josh Allen with that beautiful run around the left end, diving for the cone, hang it in the Louvre picture that he did in scoring that TD. The Bills just need to stop that Eagles running game, which they haven't been able to.
30th ranked rush defense is the Buffalo Bills. 30th ranked rush.
They haven't been able to do that. You might want to look at the rushing props, guys. Saquon Barkley, in order to make $250,000 bonus, needs 155 total yards on Sunday. So you can bet his rushing receiving yards. Look for a number that's somewhere around that 155 and bet it, because if they're going to rest them, they're going to rest them in week 18, and they're going to run that ball down the Bills' throats. So I'm going to look at those rushing props, but I'm still going to take the Bills. I'm going to take them in a high scoring game. And by high scoring, this is what I mean. Final score: Buffalo 27, Philadelphia 23. How's that?
Wow. Little 4-point win. Well, Carm, one thing I will say that does not bode well for your Buffalo Bills. And let's also be clear that Carm and I will bet on or against our teams. Like, yes, we love the Buffalo Bills. Yes, we love the Philadelphia Eagles, but I have faded the Eagles the same that I bet on them. The thing is, for me, that does not bode well for your Buffalo Bills is the fact that there is a plus sign next to the Philadelphia Eagles in this game. So over the last 2 seasons, Carm, when the Philadelphia Eagles have been underdogs, 5-0 straight up, 5-0 against the spread. So this is a spot for all we want to say about Nick Sirianni, the major douche that he is. He is a terrific master motivator when you're giving the Philadelphia Eagles points, and he can sell them on that underdog angle. And certainly when you have a record like that, that's something they're aware of. I get this concerns about the legitimacy of the Eagles at this point. They did the same thing last year, kind of trod through the year. A lot of people saying, look at the Eagles, they're kind of fool's gold. And then what did they do? They found the rushing game and they turned it on at the end of the year. They're facing the 30th ranked rush defense. I like the thought, Carm, behind your Saquon Barkley pick, but I don't have the numbers in front of me. I'm actually going to look for some Tank Bigsby props in this one, because Tank Bigsby, while he hasn't had the attempts, anytime that he is on the field for the Philadelphia Eagles, because he knows he's only going to get 3 or 4 carries, this dude goes balls to the wall. And when you're playing a 30th ranked rush defense, all it's going to take is a broken tackle. The Tank Bigby's specialty is to go over his longest rush, to go over his rushing yards. So I'm gonna dive in on those numbers a little bit more. My favorite bet for the game would likely be a Tank Bigsby prop or two. I'll give that out coming up here on Wager Talk today for our WTF or LFG segment, which is now 7-3 after we won our play on Thursday Night Football. But Carm, as it boils down to it, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If my Eagles are underdogs, I'm going to take the points and run. I already have them up in a teaser. I think that's a great bet, getting them up to 7.5, but I'll take the 1.5 points. I think the Eagles get it done outright. Let's call this one, Carm. Philadelphia Eagles 21, Buffalo Bills 13. And I think it's a backdoor score. I think this is a really bad matchup for the Buffalo Bills. And it'll be interesting to see, do either of these teams, if it starts going not their way, start resting some players. With Josh Allen banged up. That's something to definitely keep an eye on there. So not just being a homer, Carm, I'm taking my Eagles.
I get it.
You and I head to head.
Saquon Barkley, his rushing and receiving yards is 102 and a half, minus 111.
Yeah, you can't bet that, DK. Can you?
It is weird. It's a weird number.
He was
I would have thought his rushing alone.
Before the last 2 games, he wasn't cracking 80 yards. And now just because he's playing the worst defense, who knows that they're the worst defense, we're going to be betting him over 100 rushing yards. That's tough, dude. Of course, they don't even have some Tank Bigsby props up here, but I think closer to the game, they're probably going to start adding those in there. But that's the way that I would look towards, is find a spot where you can bet Tank Bigsby, because you can't bet 102 yards. He's averaging just over 70 on the season. So.
All right. So for you guys watching, let us know who scores the TKO in this one, or does it go the distance and go to the scorecards?
I got a little something here for you, Carm. Let me see if I can find it in my board here. Here we go. Let me pull it up.
Kind of worries me. Hey, there it is.
Fist to fist, baby. Here we go. Let us know. Comment below. We know this is a hockey show, but no games today. We're having a little bit of fun. Carmine, before we shut things down, what do you have rocking this weekend? I know folks obviously are here for your hockey thoughts, but what do you got? We got that Weekend Warrior where people can get some football action. I believe Xmas 25 is still active, so anything at any of these cappers pages, automatically take 25% off. Even if it is discounted, you can take an extra 25% off, Carm. So what do you got rocking for this weekend?
Yeah, guys, all packages are going live in the next hour for me. One is already live, a 5% play up in the NHL, 9-3 run with 5% plays. So we're going to try and get another one in. This game obviously is on Saturday. College football, bowl games, playoff games. The NFL, of course, a little mix of some soccer games as well, too. So grab that Weekend Warrior, or grab the 3-day all access or 7-day all access. Use that Christmas code as well, too. Let's finish off the year making some money. I appreciate you guys always tuning in to the show, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. Dan, you are a charm, my friend. Thank you for doing this.
Don't try and butter me up so your Bills win, Carm. Don't try and butter me up for that. Appreciate it, buddy. And guys, 'tis the season. Check out Carm's action right now. WD.buzz/CB. Use that code XMAS25, XMAS25. Take 25% off, even discounted packages. This is a terrific time to buy. For Carmine Bianco, I am Dan Alexander. 30 minutes from now, I'll be with my man, Andy Lang. We got Teddy Covers. We got Marco D'Angelo. We got Football Friday coming your way. So if you like the little mini football talk here at the end, you're going to love what's coming up on WagerTalk today. Until then, everybody, happy holidays. Hope you have a terrific one. Stay healthy. Best of luck this weekend. Let's cash some tickets. And of course, best of luck to both of our teams this Sunday. Have a good one, everyone.